Hello and welcome along to Mondo Chalavet Movies. My name is John and this is going to be an unboxing and also it's going to tie into the competition from Alan Scouser, which I'll talk about more after I've opened this. The reason why I'm opening this at this time of night is because I want to get this open so I can have a look at it tonight, and then I'll do a video tomorrow in the light. Just check it out and see what I think of it, and I'll tell you more of my thoughts on it when I finish this video off tomorrow morning. And also talk about Alan's channel and Alan's competition, which is a great competition. So I'll speak about that more after I've opened this. So what I've ordered from Amazon is Deep Joy, nearly, Slight Folly, right. So what I've got is the 4K of classic monsters, the Universal classic monsters. Now this is a bit strange because it's not shrink wrapped, or is the interior? Yes, the interior is shrink wrapped, but the slipcase isn't, which is a bit odd. But this is, I just had to get this open because what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and have a look at it now, and then I can come back tomorrow morning and tell you my thoughts on this. So that's what I got from Amazon. Okay, so I've had a chance to check this one out, and I've got to say that this set is really good. The packaging itself isn't the best. As you know, these ones can be quite flimsy, which is a bit of a problem really if you don't store it correctly. It could get some shelf wear on it, which is a bit of a problem. But I like the actual design of it. I think the design's pretty good, but I think you've got to be a little bit careful of what you're going to do, how you're going to store this. You can't mess it about like you can with some of the other thicker box sets. So that's the case. The actual set itself only has the 4Ks in it, which is not a problem to me because I do own the Blu-rays of these movies. So I would just be double dipping with that. So in here you get the Wolfman, you get the Invisible Man, Frankenstein, and also Dracula. And also Dracula, the Spanish version. Now when they filmed Dracula, they filmed a Spanish version exactly the same time. When the English actors had finished, they went off, and then the Spanish people came in and they filmed their scenes through the night. So the set was just getting used, and you can see it's nearly exactly the same movie, although the Spanish version has got an extra half an hour in it. Now I'm busy watching I watched half of the Spanish version last night, and I had a really good time with it actually. I don't think it's as good as the American Dracula, but it's quite unique in its way, that the fact that it's exactly the same film kind of, but with completely different actors in it. So I'll talk about that more when I do a sort of separate review on this particular set itself. So the reason I wanted to check out that set and also include it in this video is because it's to tie in with the channel Alan Scouser. Now Alan is doing a competition because recently he's got to 400 subs, which is absolutely brilliant. Alan's got a great channel. He's a great guy as well, very entertaining. He does a lot of things on his channels. He looks at things to do with horror movies, which is great, Hammer horror movies. He does old horror movies. He does reviews and honest reviews as well. If he thinks a movie's bad, he'll tell you. So, and he does it in a very entertaining way as well. He just started doing live streams as well, so that'll be coming up on his channel. So his channel's got a lot to offer, and also he set up this competition for his 400 subscriber competition, and I'll leave a link down below to that competition. So get over there, have a look at it, and you'll see how to enter it. So on the question that Alan has asked for this competition is, what is your favorite monster of all time? Now I'm glad that this set came at this point because I want to tell you what my favorite monster is, and it does tie in with this release. So please get over to Alan's channel. You'll have a great time with his stuff, and if you don't know him already, and have a look at his competition as well. He's a generous guy as well in his competitions. So so that's Alan Scouser. Now Alan Scouser's question was, what is your favorite monster of all time? And my favorite monster of all time, without a shadow of a doubt, is Frankenstein's monster. Not Frankenstein, because that's the doctor. And I have a great time with the Frankenstein monster. I do like him in sort of more is even in the Hammer stuff. I think the Hammer Frankenstein movies are good, but to be honest, this Frankenstein's monster is, to me, my favourite Frankenstein's monster, because in the Hammer movies, the Frankenstein's monster is a different monster in every film. This one is the same monster that is created in a 1931 classic here in glorious 4K. The 4K on here is absolutely stunning, I've got to say. Quick ranking is that the Dracula, the Spanish one, looks the best. Next best, I would say, is the Invisible Man. After that, I would say is Frankenstein and Dracula are kind of tied. And lastly, I would say the Wolfman, only because it's got a large amount of grain in it. But because you've got the grain in it, you've also got the sharper picture. So in a way, it's got the sharpest picture, but the highest amount of grain. But the one that's got the highest, like the lowest amount of grain, but the sharpest picture is the Invisible Man. And funny enough, it's probably the only one I can't remember watching in these sets. So that's my favourite monster, Frankenstein's monster, who shows up in some other sets. This other set here, which is an incredible set. And now what I'm hoping is that the 4Ks, now they've got these 4 out, they'll start to do the other ones that are in this set, and also other ones in the whole Frankenstein, Dracula, Wolfman series. So this one here, if you were wanting to get it, it's a great set. It's got loads of stuff in it. It looks absolutely brilliant. I mean, the Blu-rays look quite good as well. It's got Dracula 1931 English and Spanish versions. It's got Frankenstein 1931, The Mummy 1932, The Invisible Man 1933, The Bride of Frankenstein 1935, The Wolfman 1941, The Phantom of the Opera 1943, and also Creature from the Black Lagoon 1954. And it's also got the 3D version of it on here. So that's a great set, that, and it's still around. You can still get it. Also, I've got, because I like Frankenstein that much, this is got all the Frankenstein movies on there. This is the US version. I know it's out in the UK now, and this has a lovely slip as well. Also, still got that sort of it's a little bit flimsy, I'll have to say, but if you know, and it's also got some great embossing on as well. I don't know if that'll show up there. That's a lovely slip box, I would say. So in this one, you've got all the Frankenstein movies that were done in the Universal series. You have Frankenstein 1931, The Bride of Frankenstein 1935, Son of Frankenstein 1939, The Ghost of Frankenstein 1942, Frankenstein Meets the Wolfman 1943, The House of Frankenstein 1944, House of Dracula 1945, and Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein 1948. It's got a lot of special features on here. All the special features are ported over onto here, and they are on the 4K disc, so they might look that little bit better when you're watching them on a playback, although they're probably mostly in standard definition, or thereabouts, but they would get that nice little uptick on the 4K disc. Also, I've got the Mummy collection, which is another great sort of one to bring all of these together, because I find if you go for the Wolfman Legacy Collection, also Dracula Legacy Collection, most of them are found or duplicated on these titles, so really you only get maybe one or maybe even two at the most other Wolfman Dracula films, but you don't get any of the Lon Chaney Wolfman ones on the Wolfman set. It's like other people doing a Wolfman type of movie, and I do find that they're a bit of and I would get them if they were cheap, but they're never cheap. So I've got these ones because these ones will give you the most value for your money. So in the Mummy set, you get The Mummy 1932, The Mummy's Hand 1940, The Mummy's Tomb 1942, The Mummy's Ghost 1944, The Mummy's Curse 1944, and Abbott Costello Meet the Mummy 1955. Also as well, I think there's an Invisible Man version, but I think that's got quite a lot of good movies on it, so I might get that one. I might be tempted to get that one myself. So it's a great, actually it's very entertaining set as well. I find that most of the other Mummy sequels are mainly comedy movies, and they do tie in with each other. It's the same people in it, and it's we found them quite enjoyable, if a little bit like comical. And lastly, I've got the Munsters, because you can't, I mean, you've got Herman Munster there, who is just legendary. This whole set here is just absolutely brilliant. It's got a massive running time of 31 hours and 34 minutes. The TV series that ran for a couple of years is on here in full, and it's in black and white, even though the picture is on here as colour. And I just find that this TV series has got everything you would ever want. I prefer this one to the Addams Family, although I do like the Addams Family. I will probably get there's the Addams Family set sometime. I would love to get this on a Blu-ray, but this DVD is readily available, and usually you can get it for a decent price. I think I only paid £20 for this, and the amount of stuff you get in it is well worth the money. So please get over to Alan's channel. You'll have a great time with this stuff. I know I do. And also, my favourite monster of all time is the Universal Frankenstein's monster, played by Boris Karloff mostly. So thanks for watching, you take care, and I will see you on the next video. Cheers.